in honor of the NFL preseason, we're just going to do the first quarter of the show, and then City of the Breeds will come in and fill out the rest. This is Cory, and this is the Anthem podcast.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rob. I do like that in this example, the much more successful podcast is coming in the second quarter. I enjoy that. Welcome to episode 124 of the O The Anthem podcast. Whether you're listening to us at otheanthem.com, which you absolutely should. Hey, take a second. Click on the Amazon link. Takes you to Amazon. Shop like you normally do. Costs you nothing extra, but it helps out the podcast. So it's one great way you can support the network. Oh, and hey, click over to the merch tab.
Yeah.
Another great way you can support the podcast by buying some of our merch, which is available there.
Or while you're willy-nilly clicking on anything, just go to the Patreon page.
Hey, patreon.com/O The Anthem. Become a monthly supporter. You get access to a bunch of awesome stuff, like early access to stuff that we shoot, and the pre-roll, which seems to get better and better every single week.
This one is especially epic.
Yeah, some hot dryer talk, some hot discussion about history and time hop. So everything you could possibly...
Who is the girl? Who is the bitch?
Who is the bitch? All of that is right there at patreon.com/O The Anthem. And whether you're listening to us on iTunes, Stitcher, or Dogcatcher, or your podcatcher of choice, or Pocket Cast, our personal favorite, even though they don't pay us anything. Come on, guys. Make sure you give us a rating and review if possible, because that helps us climb in the ratings and helps other people find the podcast. And make sure you're following O The Anthem at O The Anthem on Instagram and Twitter, and also on Facebook. Join us on Facebook.
And share, like all that sort of stuff.
Make sure you share the page. The best thing you can do is to share the page.
We do better when people share, so.
Absolutely. And of course, if you're listening to us, you have broken the first rule of the O The Anthem podcast, which is download, don't listen. But thank you for joining us anyway. But you are missing out on half the show. Head on over to youtube.com/O The Anthem and check out the video portion of the show, because this and every episode we do have video for. So you'll see Cory, you'll see myself, you'll see our wonderful information screen, and over there to Cory's right, your left, you'll see our sidebar, which will allow you to skip down past all of this intro stuff, including just me talking right now. So. Yeah.
Anyway, I just got back from San Francisco.
Yeah. So
not just got back, but, you know.
You're back, though.
Let me tell you this. In San Francisco, when I was there, it was 66 degrees.
Yeah.
And it was like 106 back home.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got off, like, I woke up the next morning, go to work, like, immediately, almost at, like, 10 a.m., like, I'm walking outside of the office. It's just like, ugh. Ugh.
Yeah.
I realize it's not meant for me. I'm not to be. I can't deal with this 106 with humidity nonsense anymore.
I feel like
as Maryland collectively, we should do something about this scourge.
About the scourge of the humidity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe we'll just get like a Mr. Burns style sunblocker for one.
Right. Yeah.
And then just like you know how like they have like solar farms, like maybe a dehumidifier farm.
Okay, they're just pumping out.
Yeah, just constantly taking the humidity out of the air.
Maybe a solar farm to power the dehumidifier farm.
There we go.
Hey, let's keep it going.
Yeah, that's taking care of all our problems.
We should also maybe consider building a major city somewhere between LA and San Francisco. Because I can't do 66, and it does get cold there in the winter. Come down a little further south, like Barstow, Bakersfield, that area. Let's build a new city there.
So I was talking to somebody who said they were like about halfway between San Francisco and LA, and I was just like, you ever go to Hearst Castle? And she's like, oh, we lived like 10 miles from there. I'm like, so there it is. We'll just take over San Simeon.
There you go.
We'll just make that the new place.
I'm sure that'll be completely affordable for everybody who wants to move there.
The new hot place will be San Simeon. Come meet us there.
And we'll have the feudal lord's castle up on the hill, looking down over all of us while we toil in the fields in our rags. So,
yeah.
Very nice. Well, so you're back from San Francisco. How was the trip?
It was awesome. I really like San Francisco, except for the hills.
And the cost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have to... Okay, so here's I think my number one problem with San Francisco at the moment is that it's become so expensive to like take in space there or rent or anything like that you can't waste time being like the neighborhood pizza shop.
Right.
So the only places where you can go to like get a pizza by the slice, like you would see like all over New York kind of thing, is like in places that have owned their building for a long time.
Right.
Like they were there before the boom, and they don't have to worry about the escalating rent cost.
It's good and bad because you get the old school pizza place.
Yeah, but there's so few of them. There's like 10 like pizza Chinese food places where you could like walk in and like get like a quality like regular old fashioned meal.
Not a deconstructed pizza.
Every place we ate the entire time we were there, I swear to God, it was just like, this is curry macaroni and cheese made with truffle slices and done in a French vinaigrette that is made in virgin olive oil and made by whale testicles. And I'm just like reading this and I'm like, I don't want any of this.
Do you have any normal food?
And then they bring it to you and you eat it and you're like, I mean, it's all right, but now I'm thinking about it too much. Like,
Yeah. I would like to come in and order.
It's there for the purpose of Instagramming and
and for a Twitter rant complaining about the fact that you can't get decent pizza in the city of San Francisco.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But otherwise, a good trip.
And too few In-N-Out burgers. I mean, like, I have to be I had to knock out my In-N-Out in LA.
Was it in there like a big tax on fast food in San Francisco too?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't actually eat any fast food while I was there.
Yeah, I think that there's like a tax on it. So San Francisco, it's a questionable place.
10% tax on my Jack in the Box.
Just because,
yeah,
because they would like to encourage you to eat the deconstructed mac and cheese.
Yeah,
which is basically a slice of mac and cheese,
which costs more than the
than Kraft. Yes, clearly.
No, which costs more than like whatever the tax would elevate your burger to.
Well, because you don't think about it. Yeah. Here's the deconstructed burger, $22.50. I could have gone to Jack in the Box.
Here's your silly frou-frou mac and cheese, $36. Like, wow.
Well, to be fair, they have to pay their people $15 an hour.
Yeah.
And it's expensive to live. And
they haven't figured out the animatrons yet.
Not yet, no.
Yeah.
And the ability to... did you see that billboard that they posted in San Francisco?
Your minimum wage replacement.
I have so many things to say. But I did appreciate that other people were posting that apparently the self-checkouts are huge theft sources now.
Yeah.
So they're actually losing more money than they were.
See, but I always do the self-checkout.
I do it for convenience. I don't care about dealing with the person, and I don't do it to take away jobs. I do it because I don't want to have to deal with the sweltering masses.
I care about the person.
Really?
Yeah.
That means you're taking a job out of the economy.
I just from all the years of going to the supermarket, I'm tired of dealing with the like, how are you today? And I could say anything. I could be like, I was on fire last night. Oh, that's good. Beep.
Yeah, but it's not. They're not there to talk to you.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying like it brings me down to be like saddled with your bullshit small talk. Well, like, don't say anything. Just be like, hello.
Coming from a place that has the small grocers, I think we should go back to there. There's some young lad, some young lad at the end of the belt there who's bagging up your groceries for you. There is a college age, usually female, ringing up. She's polite to you. Way too hot to ever actually talk to you in real life. Like when you were 16, but this girl's not going to talk to you.
In a grocery store setting, it's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah, but she's going to talk to you. So you creepy Cory wants to take advantage and like flirt with her, and he's upset. He's upset when she doesn't come back to him with like the responses that he wants. That kind of thing. So there's that. I appreciate that. I just don't like standing in line behind a girl in Walmart who's in an ill-fitting bikini and no shoes. And I'm just like, I don't know. You have bandages, you have iodine, you have a cucumber. I don't know what is going on in this situation. I want no part of it. I want no part of it. Take me to the self-checkout. That's all I know.
Walmart, God.
Yeah.
They never have the self-checkout open either when...
Oh, no. Denton Walmart, they have it open 24 hours. Because I don't think they want to deal with the girl in the bikini with the no shoes. Yeah, they're like, no. Ma'am, you must go to the self-checkout. We don't take you over here. Go to the self-checkout.
Because anytime... granted, I'm always going to Walmart at like obscure hours, like 3 a.m. But there's only 2 lanes open and a line of like 30 people in each one of them. And self-checkout's never working. Or never on. I'm like, ugh.
Well, it's a special treat to go to Walmart in a small town. Yeah. Come down to Denton. Check that out about 2 o'clock in the morning and see how that fits you. It's amazing. So, but not only are you back from San Francisco, but more importantly, I guess not more importantly, but football's back.
Yeah.
We had the first preseason game. Did you go to the preseason game on Thursday?
No, I was in LA at the time.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah. The timelines are...
Or San Francisco. I might have been flying.
I think you were in San Francisco. It was Thursday.
It happened while I was flying because my mom. I had a text from my mom when I turned my phone back on, and she's just like, "Michael Phelps or Ravens? What do you want to hear about?" And I'm like, "Well, I already saw the Ravens one." I was watching Michael Phelps on the plane because I was on Virgin.
Oh, because they have the Olympics.
Yeah, and I was watching live TV, and I was like, oh, that's so cool.
It's the future, man.
Yeah. And then I was just like, I guess tell me what the Ravens did. And she's like, we won by 1. I'm like, oh, awesome.
Preseason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, she could have told me, like, we got blown out 35-0. I'd be like, all right, whatever.
By the Panthers, so it's a hit
Super
or miss.
Bowl losers.
Yeah, but it's still Super Bowl caliber team, But so football's back.
Our 4-string beat their 4-string.
Exactly. In the fourth quarter, there was matching drives by the fourth string, and somebody scored.
Their furniture movers lost to our furniture movers.
Yeah. Speaking of furniture movers, RG3 back playing for an NFL team. Showed up at training camp for the Browns in a 97 VW Passat. I don't know if you know this, but Alfred Morris used to show up to training camp in the same car that he showed up to training camp his very first year in. So he got league minimum his first year, and he's one of those guys that was like, heart on the field, earn every dollar. So when I got the big contract year 2, it's because of what I did year 1. I showed up at training camp with nothing, and I made something of it. So RG3, having played with Alfred Morris in Washington, then comes out to do this whole 97 Passat, and I don't want to get into the whole getting divorced and the new side piece's name on him and all of that stuff, but calm down, RG3. I am just excited that our secondary and our linebacking core is going to have 2 chances to end his career. That's really what I'm looking forward to for this year. So
don't got no Haloti Nada to do it this time.
Unfortunately not. But I believe in this team. We can find a way to get it done. Not just to win, but to end the career of a guy who really probably should be playing professional football. So any thoughts initially after that first week? Did you check in? Do you know?
No, I didn't see any of it.
Didn't watch any of it?
No, I didn't even see highlights. My care of preseason football is so little, I can't even be bothered. I mean, I'll go to the game, but
if you're in town.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't. It's such an inferior product, and it's so terrible, and it's like, at least I was talking about this today. At least the Ravens had the common decency to change the prices of the tickets on the preseason,
right?
Which is something I've been going on about for years. Now, it didn't affect the cost of the season ticket package,
right?
Because you're still paying the same amount you were last year.
They shift more of it to the.
But they just take 50% off the 2 preseason games, so you don't look at the ticket and go $109.
What am I paying for?
Yeah,
here?
You just look down and it's $54, and you're like, oh, okay, that's reasonable.
Sure, yeah.
And then the regular season just is they spread out the amount they cut off the preseason tickets onto the season ticket cost.
Increase the season by $200. At $20 income
right
throughout the season. So good for them. Good for you, Ravens. Make that money.
At least it makes me feel better. I look at the ticket and I'm just oh.
So how much did you pay for those tickets, by the way?
Nothing. Me personally?
Yes. But
no, but I'm still saying I can look at it and discuss.
Right. Why would anybody pay this?
Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
It's so funny though. I was looking up the tickets for the Nationals game on Wednesday in DC, and I was just like, the seats right behind home plate were $100 a ticket, and I'm just like, $100? Why would I do that? And then I'm like, oh yeah, Ravens games.
Yeah. 8 times a year.
That happens a lot actually.
Yeah. Well, your care about preseason football matches my care about the Olympic Games. I have not watched a single moment of actual coverage of the Olympic Games.
Have you seen videos on Twitter or anything
I've seen short clips Michael Phelps
pictures
laughing.
of Usain Bolt smiling and looking back, and
guy next to him struggling to not die, and Usain Bolt is posing mid-run. Come on, man. Come on.
I was finding myself in places where it was on TVs at sports bars a lot, or at bars. Yeah. So I'd sort of watch in not watching, but it's on, so I'm looking up every so often. I mean, my care of the Olympics still isn't. It doesn't do anything for me.
Right.
But I think that I have an interesting take Maybe instead of this huge system that we have and trying to figure out all the American Olympians,
this is your how to fix the Olympic Games.
Yeah, this is my this is my personal hot take on how to fix the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
Rather than having like all these like local qualifiers and blah 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 bullshit, spending all this money on like Olympic prep, why don't we just have everything be in Maryland? Because that's where all the gold medalists live anyway. So
apparently so.
We might as well just skip the middleman and just.
If you want to come try out here, come try out.
If Wyoming Joe thinks that he's good enough for the Olympics, you can come to Maryland and see how you rate against the.
Yeah, buy the refundable ticket, because when you show up on day one, and you see Phelps in the pool.
Yeah.
You might want to just be like, "All right, I'm gonna head on home. Have a good one, guys."
It's so funny though. Like I have an irrational relationship with Michael Phelps. Like it's totally like during the 3 weeks of the Olympics, I'm like, yeah, Michael Phelps, greatest Olympian ever. Like, he's from Baltimore, I love him.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the Olympics end, I'm just like, let's just do a Michael Phelps and get drunk and crash our car into like he immediately goes like his window is the 3 weeks every 4 years, or if I see him like
at a strip club
or like a Ravens game, if it's just like, like joining the captains on midfield is Michael Phelps, I'd be like, oh yeah, Michael Phelps. But like
that's the exception. Like if he's at the football game, you're like, all right, yeah. You don't say, oh well, he's definitely gonna get drunk and drive home.
I probably will make that comment eventually, but I'm saying like for that moment, that split moment where he's like walking on the field, I'll be like, ah. But if I saw like Michael Phelps at Green Turtle, I'd be like, he's probably gonna get drunk tonight.
Or smoke pot. Maybe he's already high. And by the way, again,
I'm gonna have to give you this picture for the show notes. It's on my phone. I'm aware. I'll send it to you. But the picture that they had of Michael Phelps at an Oriole game, where he's like, compare the picture up here to this, like.
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh man,
and the fantastic memes of him like staring down the other swimmer. I gotta say though,
the Baltimore Corner one worked out nicely.
Yes, it did. Thank you, Michael, for that. We appreciate it. But yeah, now I've watched no Olympic coverage. My understanding is we're leading in the medal count.
Sure.
I wouldn't find that to be unexpected. Women's soccer is out, but again, who cares about soccer? We're doing pretty well in track and field and swimming, and we took all 3 medals. Here's what I think. We took all 3 medals in one event. When that happens, you should be disqualified and get like an automatic platinum medal forever.
Yeah.
Like, okay, the U.S. gets a platinum in women's 100 hurdles. We don't want you to compete anymore. Just let somebody else.
Bonus points. How about that? Like bonus medals. Like if you take every single. Like,
you get a 4th medal.
If you get like gold, silver, and bronze, you get like a bonus gold to add to your medal count.
What does the medal count mean, though? Really?
Well, I mean, at the end of it, hypothetically, you can like rub it in somebody's face.
All the athletes are going to get out there and play
Barack Obama can fly over to some struggling country that didn't get any medals and be like, "In your face, Cambodia!
We got 30 cents.
You can't see me, Cambodia."
It seems like something
Michael Phelps alone is doing this to you.
And speaking of competitor, 5 Orioles have more home runs than 5 other MLB teams.
Yeah.
Marylanders are getting medals more than other countries.
We hit 9 home runs on a game that we lose.
Insane.
Okay, so real quick, let's go back to San Francisco for a split sec. We saw the only game they lost.
Okay.
So we went out on Saturday. They lost that game. But I was like just walking around the streets of San Francisco on Sunday when Scope hit that home run, and I was just like following it on the phone, and it was just like as soon as he hit it, I was like, "Oh my god, yes, we won! We did it! We took the lead in the 9th!" And like people are like looking at me like, "Fuck, shut you!" Like, hate you.
Not in the city. Not the city.
You're not in Baltimore, motherfucker.
We gonna show you. I got a deconstructed gun over here. I'm gonna put together and show you what's up.
Deconstructed organic farm raised gun. made from sustainable materials.
I have a single shot musket. Let me load this ball up. Pour the powder in. You stay right there. Don't move. Got a flintlock. The goddamn hipsters. I can't.
Just chasing me down on his like one big wheel bike.
with a pike. He's got a pike. He's going to come down and get you. A lance, yeah.
He's got his old school musket and his one big wheel bike.
Ah, damn it. All right.
Just riding along like...
Goddamn hipsters. Yeah, you're ruining the world. But yeah, no. So Orioles, though. Orioles are doing well. Making life a little difficult for us. Well, for me and you. Talking about moving, but they just won't give it up, or let's take a 10-game lead. Can we do one of these two things?
What we're going to have to deal with now is that this is the weather that's built for Orioles baseball.
Yes. Oh,
where
it's flying.
It's so hot and so humid that the ball, single pop-ups just become 3-run home runs without much care. But then we're also going to be tested on the other side because our pitchers are going to give up those same home runs at a more remarkable pace. So
we were at the game last night as of this recording, so that would be Thursday night. And Alvarez hit a pop-up that just hung up and skied out. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
It doesn't got it, but it's holding up there a long time.
Under normal circumstances, if it was a month ago, that would have been caught by the shortstop.
Yeah.
But now it was caught by the left fielder.
Carrying and just holding up there.
Holding in the air and just sort of... It feels like it's just like riding a wave of humidity towards the seats. Like,
not enough, but, some.
It's towards the seats.
Dramatic pop-up in that direction. So, yeah. But, so we're in the... I mean, who knows by Tuesday where our record is going to be, but we're somewhere in the first place wild card area in the AL East.
I mean, this team, as evidenced by the game on Sunday that I didn't go to.
Yes.
I'm never watching a game and going like, well, this is over.
Right.
Like, unless it's like 17-1 or something like that. I'm not against the team making a rally and coming back. Because it can just happen so quick. They can hit 3 home runs like just right in a row, and then it's right back in it.
By the same token, though, I also am not comfortable with a 12-2 lead because I'm like,
oh no,
hang on, we never know.
I'm never comfortable.
Never know.
But I've never been comfortable. I think that's just part of being an Orioles, just a Baltimore sports fan in general. Like,
wheels are going to come off.
Yeah, like even as a Ravens fan, like you could be winning 28-3 in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left, and I'm just like, nothing's secure.
Cam Newton's no Joe Montana, but he may just put it together.
Until the final whistle, we do not give up. This can go so wrong so quick.
Well, last night, everybody was bailing out in the 7th as the Astros were coming up to bat. And I'm like, too early. Too early. You guys need to keep your seats. We don't know what's going to happen. So
it's 13-2. It's not it's not over yet.
Hang on. But, so we are hopefully listen, all love to them. I hope that we are heading for the playoffs and beyond. But I'd like to start making some plans for this fall, and they're really screwing with my ability to make some future plans.
Yeah.
Because I think we discussed this before. I'm not going to move to LA and then be like, oh, World Series games. Let me fly back and buy 4 World Series tickets. No,
because then when you're throwing in the $300 round trip airfare, you're like, well, I mean, it'd probably be last minute too. So like $500 round trip airfare.
Plus accommodations, $150 tickets. Yeah. Well, I guess accommodations would be fun. I'd have to stay in
$150 tickets. Where are you watching from? Outside?
How much do you think? Oh, yeah, more than that? Yeah, fair enough. And I wouldn't have any... my car would be in LA, so there's a rental car on top of that. I'm renting a car in the city where I live, which is ridiculous. But it would be necessary. So, yes, it becomes an expensive trip. So
I found, though, like with San Francisco, like I didn't get a rental car.
A walkable?
It's walkable, but I'm saying, like... if you are in the city, you could just Uber to the games. Like, you don't need to have the car.
Right.
Especially if it's... I mean, like, if I knew that I was only going to be in the city for a week, like, I could do without a car. It'd be more difficult, but...
I don't know that I could ever do without a car.
Yeah.
It's... I just don't like the idea. And, I mean, Uber does get expensive if you use it for your sole means of transportation. I guess you could.
Well, I mean, you would be in the White L too, so you could take the circulator.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could stay in the. Let's be honest, we're staying in the White L.
That's the White L zone. You'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Speaking of that, we didn't get a chance to talk about the Department of Justice report
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed our special podcast last week.
On Port Covington?
Yeah, the kind of a debate about Port Covington. So,
but I think we're going to do that more often, like point counterpoints. Like we'll just take a topic and one person will take the pro and one will take the con, and then
I enjoyed it.
So if there's anything people are really clamoring for, you know all the places.
How would they let you know?
Well, I mean, there's the listener line 443-219-7595,
and I guess they could email at Cory at theanthem.com.
Yeah, or the Anthem on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Right. Yeah. Or if you're feeling really involved, you could always go to patreon.com/theanthem and send. Once you sign up and you become a supporter,
just leave a comment.
Post a comment right there, and it would be there. Yeah.
Just be like 2-point counterpoint on.
And in fact, I would say this: if it comes from someone on Patreon, the likelihood that we actually do it much higher.
Yeah, I would always say we're going to do it regardless.
Yeah. So maybe that's the thought process. If you really want to hear us do something, if you have a really ridiculous idea, become a Patreon supporter and then suggest it on there, and we'll see what happens.
Josie and the Pussycats, point counterpoint. God, I hope I get the positive side of this one.
I don't think we should. That is the only way that conversation should go. It would be the worst podcast ever if it's not.
Rob's like, I'm just going to pass. I'm going to defer.
I'm trying to come up with some positives. There are none. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's it. But yeah, I do.
It did star Tara Reid before she completely fell apart.
That's the benefit of that. That's the one positive from that movie. And Rachel Lee Cook.
Yeah. And Rosario Dawson. It had a great cast.
It had a good cast. Yes.
Yeah. Let's not get into this now because somebody's gonna
suggest
it, and then we got to do it all over again. So,
I do want to go back to the Olympics briefly though, because before we get into the DOJ, because they're talking about controversy. There was a bit of controversy this week with the Olympic Games. Had nothing to do with the Olympics itself, and it's the only thing I've paid attention to come out of the Olympics thus far.
Ryan Lochte.
Yes. So first of all, I forgot how blonde and blue-eyed he was.
Well, no, that's a fake.
Is it a fake blonde?
Yeah.
Oh, you bastard. How dare you?
He did that for the Olympics.
He did his eyebrows, too, though.
Yeah.
Oh, you son of a bitch. How dare you? How dare you?
In the 4 years since you've last seen him, you're just like, has he been blonde? He must have been blonde the whole time.
I could not tell you what he looked... The first time I remember seeing a picture of him was in regards to this controversy.
Well, let's do a quick setup for anybody who might not be aware. Ryan Lochte said that he was in a cab on the way back to Olympic Village when fake police officers showed badges and then dragged him and a couple swim teammates out of the car and pointed a gun at his head and said, "Give me your money." And he's like, "Fine, whatever."
Yeah.
And then he gave him the money, and then after that, Ryan Lochte fled the country.
Well, didn't flee the country. He was scheduled to leave, and he continued
just left.
to leave.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just left as planned.
Important point. The other 3 people with him still had events to do, so they have not left the country.
And they have been in a lot of conversations with the police because apparently everything that was just said was a lie.
A lie that was really led by Ryan's interview with CNN.
Yeah.
That's it all kind of started with that.
Here's the thing. If you want to tell like a little white lie every once in a while, you can get away with an easy white lie.
Yeah.
Did you see the thing I tweeted earlier? No, I'm saying did you see the thing I tweeted?
No, I didn't. Yeah.
No, but I mean, if you went, I saw it. It was good.
Yes.
Then I would be like, oh, okay. And I never probably think about it again.
Right.
I would be like, what did I say? I would just take you at your word.
Well, I mean, which one were you talking about? Are you talking about the...
Talking about the one about Michael Phelps. Oh, yeah, I saw that. It was good. It was funny.
Yeah. His mom died. It wasn't funny. I don't know why are you saying it's funny?
Debbie Phelps, no!
But yeah, no, you can get away with the little stuff.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. But you can get away with a big lie so long as you can't prove that it's a lie when you do it in public.
But you gotta, in this day and age, you have to know that, somebody's gonna look into...
Here's the thing. We were at a club and somebody pulled a gun on us at the club, so we didn't press it to my head and I acted like a badass. Just I talked shit to the wrong person, they pulled a gun on us, we left.
Yeah.
Rio's a bit of a dangerous city, I don't know if you know. That's okay, because nobody's going to come forward from the bar and be like, no, that didn't absolutely happen. And if they did, you'd be like, oh, well, of course they're going to say that. They're not going to say that there was somebody in the club
Right.
with a gun.
But you have to know that if you're going to say something like that, there's going to be videotape inside the club.
Maybe, depending on what kind of club it is. You know what I mean?
True.
But when you say, we got robbed on the street by fake police officers, and they pressed a gun to my head, and I basically told them to fuck off, because I'm a badass like that.
Gotta act all Billy Badass about it.
Yeah. You got to think that maybe something got caught on camera, and maybe your lie is going to fall apart.
Yeah.
And it did.
Yeah.
Luckily for him, it fell apart after he was safely back on American soil. And I don't think that there is a consulate in Rio, but maybe those guys should feel like making their way to the consulate. Wherever that is. It's not going to work out well for you. I don't know much about the Brazilian justice system. Based on what I've seen from the rest of the country, not ideal. Not ideal to be part of that.
Yeah, well, the Egyptian political or the Brazilian political process is showing that they probably don't have their house in order.
Yeah, and the police are striking, and just nothing about this seems like a good idea.
Right.
The police are striking. They arrested you. Not a good combination.
Yeah.
So, my understanding of it, correct me if I'm wrong, is that he didn't want his mother to know that he was out at a bar partying. So
I think your mother knows.
You're 32 years old.
Just look at you. You clearly are the type of person who goes out to a bar and parties and probably like wears your Olympic medal to the.
Speaking of Towson. Ryan Lochte would fit in very well at the Green Turtle in Towson. I'm just saying, Ryan, if you're looking to hook up with some college girls, Green Turtle in Towson, probably not the place for you because there's 1,000 of you there. Just go somewhere else.
1,000 guys just like you.
Exactly right. Some of them might have Olympic medals. I don't know. I can't say for sure.
There might be at least one person who's a more distinguished Olympian there, so maybe.
Well, Michael Phelps might end up showing up. Ryan shows up with his one medal, like, yeah, no, I won it. Michael shows up, 23 medals.
Like, Mr. T, like, oh, hey, Ryan, what are you doing here?
Oh, that's cute. I like your medal there. That's nice. Yeah, okay.
Do you want more?
Do you want to borrow some?
I mean, like, I can lend you a couple. I don't really give a shit about the Athens ones. You want those? Or?
Yeah, so, but he didn't want his mom to know, so he lied about being robbed as a reason why he was out late. And, of course we didn't go to a bar. We were out
at prayer,
seeing the sights of Rio at 3 o'clock in the morning, and got robbed. We
went up to the statue of Jesus to pray.
Yes, Christ the Redeemer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No. So he got busted, as everyone probably assumed he would have. And you made an interesting statement earlier, which is when you first saw that there was an allegation that he was lying, your first thought was, "There's no way he's lying," because this was so easy to be found out that you would never lie about this. And then it turns out, he got found out.
If I said here on the podcast, like, yeah, I mean, like, I didn't go to San Francisco. I was actually in Rio because I was running 100 meters and I beat Usain Bolt.
We could probably fact check that, yeah.
You'd be like, there's no way he's lying about that because it would be so easy to find out whether...
Right. Yeah, clearly it'd be easy to find out.
I was a member of the 2003 Detroit Tigers. Just like, where are you now?
And that's the thing about the lie. If you're going to lie big, because then people don't question it. They're like, well, I want to say no, but I mean, I literally could just look it up. But
he wouldn't be saying it if you...
Yeah. It's so easy. It would be so easy to find out he's lying. He wouldn't do that. I'll just trust it. Don't trust Ryan Lochte.
Apparently that's
another lesson that we can learn.
These degenerate swimmers.
So, there's
going to be somebody on Twitter who's calling, like, a member of the Olympic men's basketball team, like, a thug. Yeah. And yet the Olympic swimming team is just going to be like, oh, they're just boys being boys.
That was the most important thing in my mind, is that Tamir Rice was 12 when he got shot. And they were like, well, he looked like a grown man. Ryan Lochte is literally a grown man. Yeah. He's my age. He's 32 years old. And we're like, boys will be boys. Sometimes you kick in the door of a gas station bathroom. You verbally assault the attendant who asks you why you're kicking in the door of his bathroom.
Right.
Sometimes the police get involved, and the real police get involved, and then you have to file a false police report. Sometimes that just happens. especially when you're in a foreign country with no consulate anywhere nearby. Guys, here's a key for you. If you're going to get in trouble in a country that's not the United States, do so in the capital city. Because then, if all else fails, you can make a mad dash for the consulate, and at least you're safe there. Theoretically.
At least you're on American soil.
Right, yeah. I would imagine that they're not going to start an international incident trying to get in to get you. Yeah. But apparently Ryan Lochte will cause an international incident to get out of trouble with his own mother. Yeah. So, cut the cord. Maybe it's time to cut the cord, Ryan. I don't know what's going on with that.
I think your mom, just at the end of the day, I think your mother knows.
You're done. It's not like you're drinking the day before. You're going out partying the day before your event, which maybe some of the other guys were, ironically enough. I don't know. But you're not. Right. There's no need for you to lie. You're done. You're in the celebration phase of the Olympics.
Well, not only that, but I mean, like, let's put it on a scale of like something that would fit me. Like, if I won an Oscar, I don't think my mom would assume that just after the event is over, like after they say like good night, like I'm just gonna go home and be like, all right, well, I've been watching a lot of Mad Men recently, so I think I'm gonna get back into that.
I'm gonna have a warm glass of milk and turn in.
I think she assumes that I'm probably gonna go out and celebrate. Yeah, like I'm gonna be at a bar until some ridiculous hour. Yeah. And if she called me up, like, 7 a.m. East Coast time, and I'm still up partying...
it's to be expected.
Yeah, she knows what's up.
Well, I guess speaking of other things that fit you very well, I don't know if you heard about these statues that they put up. It's weird, because when I saw...
Did you think they were Cory statues?
I thought they were Cory statues. I didn't see the face initially. I just saw like the body in the clickbait.
You son of a bitch. Those statues have no testicles and...
Yeah, I don't know.
15 to 8.
I don't know if I'm being unclear. I understand. Yes, I saw the statue. Yeah. Thought that was a Cory statue.
Number one, Trump's in much better shape than I am. So...
In real life or the statue?
Did the statue.
Yeah. And your hands are the same size, though, so you got that.
Yeah, but he's also like 6'3", so...
True, tiny hands.
I have perfectly normal 5'9" hands.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
They're impressive thumbs.
Okay, yeah.
I beat all comers in thumb war.
But anyway, so for any of you who haven't been keeping up to date on this story... an artist created 6 statues of Trump in the nude. Yeah, and stuck them in 6 different cities. And the big one was, I guess, the one in Central Park was found first, and of course created this whole stir.
Did you by the way hear the statement from the park department?
Yes.
The New York Park Department does not stand for any erection, no matter how small.
Yes.
Oh, the person who crafted that is just a genius with the puns. And it's not like the puns that are like bad. That's quality stuff right there.
It's something. Okay. So I've been seeing nothing but like, oh, isn't this great? Isn't this fantastic? Isn't this funny? I'm going to offer a counterpoint to that argument. Ooh. Which is this.
Taking offense for your candidate here?
No. I'm taking a defensive point for us as a society. So I am fine with railing against Trump for his political beliefs, for his the way he incites violence and negativity and all of the things that come from being a candidate. I draw the line at openly body shaming him as a form of political protest, if you will. Because essentially this is what that statute says.
Statue.
What did I say?
Statute.
This is what the statute says. If you are overweight, if you have a non-acceptable body composition, if you are not well endowed, all of these things, that you are not fit to be a leader. And the insinuation is that, not the insinuation. If you took the head off of that statue, that's the average American male. Yeah. So to say that, we are somehow...
Do you know what the name of the statue series was, though?
No, I don't. What was the name of the series?
It was The King Has No Balls.
Okay.
So they're making a reference to the king has no, the king with no clothes.
Yes.
Where he's walking around naked.
And he doesn't know he's naked.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't recognize he's naked.
Yeah, it's a parable for being so disconnected.
And
that you think that you're like above it all. Like you're right and everybody else is wrong, which is kind of Trump at its base.
Here's the thing. If the artist had seen Trump naked and knows what he looks like naked, I'm down. Because now it's an accurate depiction and you're making a statement. You will agree with me that the leading line in all the stories is about the genitalia and the body composition of this naked statue.
Yeah.
It is body shaming Trump and then calling that political discourse. I am not a fan of the race to the bottom. I am not saying let's all go down to his level. And I've had people tell me, listen, you can talk about his politics all you want. He doesn't care. You can talk about all of this crazy stuff he says. He doesn't care. You can talk about how he's not qualified. He doesn't care. But he does care about his hands and his dick. And he does care about these things. So this is how we get to him. You're lowering yourself to his level and then saying, well, but he made me do it. This is not how it operates.
I think he's just at his level. Like, this is just...
But we shouldn't go down there. The man is... For all other things aside, he is a major candidate's a major party's presidential candidate.
What bothers me most about this whole thing is that any Trump story that comes out, I put in either one of two columns. Like, I don't care, clickbait kind of thing, or like something that we should seriously be talking about. This is clickbaity to me. This is very like... You're like, hey, I'm going to make a naked Trump. Like, it doesn't... There are plenty of things that Donald Trump is actually doing...
Yes.
Which are more important. Like, for instance, like the shakeup in his campaign.
Right. The fact that Breitbart and Fox News are running his campaign now.
Yeah. So, for those who haven't seen, Paul Manafort has resigned from the campaign. And
after defending them, like literally resigned the day after.
Because it all came out that he was, like involved with like a Yugoslavian slush fund and trying to get Russia to,
the Russia connection
to get back in with Russia.
The Russia connection actually turns out to be a little more legitimate than we all thought it might be. Not to the campaign directly, but through some shady dealings anyway. But. Is it the former editor of Breitbart? Is that who it is? Yeah, the former editor of Breitbart, and then Roger Ailes, the newly retired head of Fox News, are now both major, what would you call them, consultants with the campaign?
Well, the Bannon is actually is like the chief executive, basically, of the campaign now.
See, I thought they were just calling him a consultant, the election consultant or something like that. And then Ailes was the debate consultant.
Here is just so people understand what they're getting into with Steve Bannon. Here are some headlines from Breitbart. Because if you haven't read Breitbart, it's something.
Yeah, it is that, yes.
Bill Kristol, Republican spoiler, renegade Jew. World Health Organization report: trannies 49 times higher HIV rate. Big trans hate machine targets pitching great Kurt Schilling. Sympathy for the Devils, the plot against Roger Ailes and America. There's no hiring bias against women in tech, they just suck at interviews. Gabby Giffords, the gun control movement's human shield. Planned Parenthood's body count under Cecile Richards is up to half a Holocaust. Birth control makes women unattractive and crazy. Physician, mainstream media strangely silent about Hillary Clinton's health. Roger Stone, Huma Abed, most likely a Saudi spy with deep inaugural connections to global terrorist entity. All those things with quotes.
Yes.
How Donald Trump made it cool to be gay again. Lesbian Bridezilla's bully bridal shop owner over religious beliefs. After the Pulse Club massacre, it's time for gays to come home and to the Republican Party. The solution to online harassment is simple. Women should log off. Hillary Clinton's Muslim Brotherhood problem. Teenage boy with tits, here's my problem with Ghostbusters. Exclusive, Kimberly Guilfoyle blows up Gretchen Carlson's allegations against Roger Ailes. The truth should matter. These are all things Trump 100% vindicated. CBS reports swarm on rooftop celebrating 9/11. I mean, it's...
Not The Onion. This is a legitimate news source.
Yeah, quote-unquote legitimate news source.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and the former editor of said news source is now running the Trump
And not only
campaign.
that, but it just, I mean, this isn't even a Robert Cheek level of, like, self-promotion. Here's an actual headline. Breitbart News posts factual headline about race war, double murder, internet melts down. That's a headline
On Breitbart.
About Breitbart.
About a story they had run
Yeah.
that was super popular and went viral.
Yeah.
So the person who's in charge of that is now in charge of Trump's campaign. Probably good.
Here's one for Rob. 6 reasons Pamela Geller's Muhammad cartoon contest is no different from Selma.
Okay.
Don't you want to know how that is?
I mean, it's clickbaity because you
legitimately want to know.
Yeah. What are the connections that you're trying to make there? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that guy's now running the campaign.
Yeah.
That's a little scary.
Yeah.
And you have Roger Ailes, who I believe the comment you made earlier is, could you have picked a worse person? Bill Cosby not available to do your debate prep?
Listen, you're doing historically bad with women. You're running against a woman. I guess you're just punting it. You're punting the category.
Yeah, it's just, like, we're not going to go after
whatever.
women
Just
at
get
all.
Roger Ailes. I don't give a shit about women anymore.
Yeah. Or secure. Like, I don't know that he understands that if you win white men, it's not enough.
Yeah.
Like, you need to win 100% of white men, or
Maybe
white men plus somebody else.
Maybe Trump's under the assumption, maybe nobody's told him, but he's just thinking, well, I'll win white men because then Hillary has to win 3/5 of everybody else.
He's reading the original Constitution. He's like, I got this. All right.
I'm a constitutionalist.
That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. But yeah, so my suspicion, and I think your suspicion as well, is this has nothing to do with running for president.
No.
It has not for a while had anything to do with running for president. This has to do with setting up what comes after the eventual loss of the presidential
and
campaign.
don't fool your... I mean, like... you can come up with some sort of crazy situation in which Trump wins.
Yeah.
But it's getting slimmer and slimmer by the day.
Well, and
I mean,
at this point, it's spoilers only on the Democratic side. But the problem is spoilers for the Democrats now, ironically, would have been spoilers for Republicans. Like, Gary Johnson takes Arizona, New Mexico, Georgia. Yeah, he's stealing votes from Hillary Clinton now, but technically she stole those from Republicans. So it's not helping anybody out. Really what we're looking at is keeping someone from getting to 270, not getting Trump to win. It's sending it into the Republican-controlled House and Congress.
And then making them figure it out.
And then letting them figure out. Yeah. Like, okay, so he lost big, but nobody won, which means we get to choose the winner. So do we go for the guy who won 37% of the vote, or do we go for the woman who won 51% of the vote but didn't get the electors? What do we do? And, by the way, no election for 2 years, so no matter what we do.
It'd probably be a real thinker, though, for the Republican House.
What do you do?
With how many of them hate Trump?
Yeah.
And how many equally hate Clinton?
Yeah.
This might be the way that Gary Johnson wins the presidency.
Well, and here's the thing. I don't know that constitutionally you have to select somebody who went before the Electoral College. Unless it is a tie, you don't have to select. They just have to choose. So Paul Ryan comes in.
Maybe Barack Obama for another term?
Yeah, right. Yeah, the Republicans are like, listen, of all of our choices, it's better. He's still better. Another 4 years of Obama better than Clinton or Trump at this point. So you're in. You're in.
The devil you got's better than the devil.
Yeah, exactly right.
But then as soon as an inauguration day rolls around for 2017, they're just like, he's like, all right, well, here's my Supreme Court pick, Merrick Garland. And it's like, no. Listen, hold on. We're going to have an election in 4 years, so calm your tits, Obama.
We need to let the people have a say about this, so we're going to hold off for the next 4 years.
We didn't... The people never voted you for this third term, so...
Right. Yeah, and meanwhile, the Supreme Court gets down to 3. It's 3... We have another 4 retirees, 5 retirees, 4 retirees plus 1 that's empty vacancy now.
And then the Republicans are like, all right, so next presidential election, we have to be serious about the candidates we put out there. So let's just hope for the best, and then 2020 rolls around, and it's like Ted Cruz and Mike Huckabee and Donald Trump. You're like, shit! Where are the statesmen?
Roger Ailes running for president. Oh, dear God. Yeah. But so it's my sense that, one, he is punting this campaign completely.
Yeah.
Two, he's setting up what comes next, which I like your suggestion of. He is looking to set up a news network. And now he's got all the major players.
He'll be right of Fox News, which I can't even, like...
It'll be Breitbart News.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be insane stuff, but he's priming the country to say, okay, so we lost. Now, look, it's their fault. Well, the whole thing was rigged. Now follow us. Just
the way Trump handles talking about news in front of people. Like, this would be the way that Trump news goes, where he says, like, I'm not saying this, but I've heard people say that Hillary Clinton is a secret Muslim.
Yeah.
People have said this.
I'm not saying it.
Yeah, I'm not saying it. I just heard this. A lot of people are talking. Like, this will essentially be Trump news. Like, if it comes out, it'll just, like...
News. Trump news.
The 6 o'clock news hour will be... Now, we don't have anything that says this for sure, but we've been hearing a lot of talk about... Speculation says that...
Yeah. And this is what your choice is for president.
Bill Clinton is gay with a Barack Obama. Just like, that's disgusting.
We heard a disgusting rumor today that we're going to share with you.
Yeah.
Barack Obama. Yeah, wait, what? Why? If it's disgusting, why would you?
And then they're gonna do things like what's her face does. That Tory chick is going to be all over this new Donald Trump network. Tammy or something.
Tammy with an I.
Yeah.
Listen, Tammy with an I belongs 2 places: trailer park and strip club. That's all. Get off Facebook. All right. And the people. Listen, folks. Not everything you see online is legitimate. Right? Yeah. And just because she's got a good videographer and a what looks like a studio, but by the way, it's a green screen. It's clearly a green screen. She's sitting at a desk in front of a green screen. Anyway, that does not make her legitimate.
Yeah.
You and I could shoot that here.
Oh, yeah.
And we could make it look exactly the same.
And if we got an attractive girl to do it instead of one of the two of us, then I'm sure we could get a lot more views on it as well.
Well, we're going to lose in some demographics, but we'd pick up in others. Creepy Cory's world over would enjoy the woman, but you know, if you're coming for hard-hitting news, they would enjoy.
Yeah, but we wouldn't. If we're following along in her footsteps, we wouldn't be giving the hard-hitting news. We'd be giving.
No, I mean making stuff up.
Yeah,
but it's
nonsense.
it's all about the delivery. You know, the problem is I look at her and I just say, yeah, listen, sweetie, I'm just kidding. I'm not dismissive of her because she's a woman. Just, she's stupid. She doesn't know what she's talking about, and she basically just makes up stuff and calls it, is it news? Is that what she's doing?
No,
news?
she's calling commentary.
Okay. Yeah.
Because when you say commentary, you can say whatever you want.
Right. And present it as if it's
like, oh, this segment isn't news, this segment is commentary. So therefore, I'm allowed to say Hillary Clinton is a secret Hitler.
Yes.
Like...
Well, and speaking
I don't have to give you sources or back it up or check or anything like that. I can just say it.
And calling back to the Trump statue, if the statue was of Hillary and it was a 65 whatever year old woman body, 70-year-old woman's body, and people were saying the same things about that, would that be acceptable?
I mean, I think the reason why it works is because of who Trump is as a candidate.
But in a political campaign...
The king has no clothes is very apt for Trump's campaign.
Okay.
It's not apt for Clinton's campaign.
Why not? I think it's exactly... She and he have the same mentality when it comes to that.
Hillary is not...
People are dying who have information on her.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying she's killing... Listen, this is commentary. It's not news. But I'm not saying she's killing people off. I'm just saying a lot of people have died who have had dirt on her.
I'm not saying that Courtney Love herself pulled the trigger, but I'm saying somebody that knows Courtney Love pulled the trigger.
Courtney Love had something to benefit. Kurt was in the way. Kurt's dead now. You do the math. But, I don't like the idea of the statue for that, because if we did it the other way, it would not. It would be offensive the other way, so it should be offensive this way. But Hillary Clinton
if you wanted to, let's say Ronald Reagan had very distinct tattoos.
Yes.
Like he had full sleeves with very distinct dragon tattoos.
Let's say, because I don't remember that being...
Okay. This is all hypethetical.
Right,
because it wasn't like this, to my knowledge. I never saw Ronald Reagan, Suns Out, Guns Out. But
takes off his shirt, he's got Gipper across his shoulders.
Let's say...
No regrets.
No regrets. Let's say that Reagan had very identifiable full-length sleeve tattoos.
Yeah.
If you made a naked statue of Hillary Clinton's head on the Ronald Reagan body,
Yeah.
and your point was like, she's not a Democrat, she's just a new Reagan.
Yeah.
And we've exposed her, so that's why she's naked. Then, sure. Like, yeah, I get it.
It's
like
shocking for shocking's sake.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm not saying that the piece is benefited by it at all. I mean, the only reason why this works for Trump is because the king has no clothes. That's the only reason it works.
Well, and the other reason it works is that Hillary Clinton is finally running the campaign that we have been recommending that she run for the last month or so.
Sit down, shut up, don't say anything.
Yeah, at some point...
Stay out of the way.
As an attorney, there are some times when you see the other side going down a line of questioning with your client or their client, and you realize that they're asking questions they don't know the answer to.
Yeah.
But you do know the answers, and you know that this is going to be good. Now, you can object because they're asking hearsay. They're bringing facts that are not in evidence. They're making assumptions, but you know where they're going.
Yeah.
So you just sit. You just sit and just let it happen.
Yeah.
Hillary's finally doing that.
Yeah.
Just let him burn it down himself.
Yeah, and he's been doing a great job of it.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Yeah. So good for him. We are in the last vestiges of the Republic, clearly, because this is what it looks like before it all falls apart. But
let's get back to the Department of Justice report real quick.
Yeah.
So this is the Baltimore corner where you get the straight tube.
Yes.
I was stepping on the second part because I saw you leaning. I didn't think you were.
I was coming back.
I didn't think you were going to get back in time. Yeah. So none of this is shocking or news to anybody who lives in the city.
Yeah. Breaking news. People of Baltimore, not surprised. Yeah. Well, that's not true. People outside the White L, not surprised.
Yeah.
Because I think there was a lot of people who live in the White L who were like, this doesn't happen here.
Yeah.
Where were these people? Well, I don't understand. Yeah.
I mean, we could have, instead of reading 164 pages of the Department of Justice report, you probably could just watch 5 seasons of The Wire and get the same general idea.
And for people who thought The Wire was fiction, yeah, it's fiction, but...
well, it's fiction in the way that it doesn't happen like this anymore because we have, like, Stingray devices and we don't have to, like, get, like, warrants to tap phones, but, you know...
which, by the way, they're getting sued now.
For the Stingray?
Yeah.
Good.
And their complaint filed with the FCC for interfering with radio signals. So,
can't wait until that adds up to nothing.
Yeah. I was going to say. So, here's the question.
We're finding the city of Baltimore $100. Shit. Well, there goes after school programs.
Yeah, it's exactly what happens. But so, what do you think will come from... so, the report said... they are focusing on black communities. They are doing unconstitutional stops. They're taking unconstitutional actions. Not only are they focusing on black communities, but they are focusing on young black men. Mm-hmm. And they are focusing them in a way that makes criminals out of non-criminals, which then leads those criminals to become repeat offenders.
Yeah.
And like 7 guys in the city of Baltimore were stopped 30 times each during the period of the DOJ investigation. Like, either those guys are bad or, they're focusing on something.
You know what? I've been thinking about this a little bit more. And I think that society, in a way, is part of the problem with the police department.
Okay. Because
the police will take cues off of where society leads them. And... for many people, if you see a young black man, there is like an immediate indication criminal.
Yep.
Like, this guy's going to rob me, or this guy's going to do whatever. You have no basis for that opinion.
Nope.
Other than the fact that they're, the color of their skin and how they look or how they're dressed or however the case may be. I mean, nobody necessarily looks at me and thinks criminal. But I could be a criminal.
Yeah.
I could be the most dangerous motherfucker on the block. But you don't know. I'm just saying I could be.
I mean, I know.
Yeah.
That's not true.
But you don't know. Like, if I'm walking on the sidewalk the same way as you are and we're about to cross paths in the middle, you don't know I'm not going to stab you and take your money.
Right.
Like, I could do it just as much as anybody else could. But because the society was fearful of the black criminal which was set up by many generations of people talking about black on black crime and black, crime rates and everything like this, that it's become predetermined that black equals crime. And therefore, police departments wouldn't get in trouble for preemptively making moves before any crime had been committed.
Because the people will applaud them.
People will say, oh, they're trying to clean up the corner. This is a drug neighborhood, and they're taking...
Yeah.
You don't know anything about the people they just roughed up.
Right.
You don't know anything about the woman that they took out of the car and made her strip down on the sidewalk and make her spread her cheeks in front of the whole neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like...
And, by the way, you want a drug neighborhood? Drive through Canton, Fells Point, Federal Hill, Charles Village... you want to smell pot on the street?
Yeah.
That's where you smell it.
Yeah.
I've been all over the city. You don't smell it in Station North or Penn in Sandtown because they know the cops are out looking for them.
Yeah.
They're inside in their basements with a towel under the door like, okay, we got to make sure...
Dryer sheets and a...
Spoof. They're spoofing it up. Yeah. It's the white guys sitting on a stoop in Canton with a cop across the street smoking a blunt. And I'm just like, is this real life?
Good evening, officer.
How are you? Yes. Glaucoma. Yeah. It's what
wink,
causes
wink.
the wink. The glaucoma. Yeah. But I mean, if drugs equal crime, which is also what we've been taught.
Yeah.
Then it's not just one part of the city either, because drug use is basically the same amongst all races, and if according to the Justice
but I mean, like, all
Department,
you have to see is there are drugs that were proportionately to one race or another,
right?
Like crack was way more popular with the black community than cocaine was. Cocaine was more of a white drug,
right,
if you will.
But right now we have heroin and we have pot.
But
basically.
then you have like mandatory minimums where crack is outrageous and cocaine is nothing.
Well, because you can't have a white kid who gets caught with an 8-ball spend the rest of his life in jail.
Right, that doesn't
make
make any
sense. But you get a
sense.
black kid with 2 crack rocks and,
yeah,
he was going to jail eventually anyway. So
he was going to do something. I mean,
so we got him off the street and we saved somebody.
Just nobody seems to be. There are many layers to what has to happen to fix this. There's not going to be. I mean, obviously, there's going to have to be reform in police tactics, but we all have to realize that whatever reform happens, if there's like sweeping change, like Rawlings Blake decides to do her job and not quit.
Well, we still want her to quit. We still want her to quit.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
eventually, but do your job up until
during this time where she's not quitting. If she decides to do her job, and says, "All right, we've agreed with the police union, the FOP lodge. This is what we're going to be doing differently starting today. Mm-hmm. These are the new policies," and they lay out. Let's just say they lay out a bunch of things that would please, like Baltimore Block,
right? Yeah,
civilian review board.
Michael A. Wood as police commissioner.
Yeah, the whole line. Whatever would make people happy,
Yeah.
There still needs to be the societal part of the problem that needs to be fixed, because if you get the first time you get a story where a cop pulls over a black teen and has to treat that person with respect and then gets shot, it's just going to be bedlam. It's going to be the white flight version of what Black Lives Matter goes through right now.
Yeah.
Because every single time you get a story about this innocent cop who was treating this person with respect and was just trying to do his job and he got shot in the face. Like,
here's the thing,
it's going to be the same exact rage that's happening on the side of Philando Castile.
I don't know that happens.
Oh, I'm not saying it does, but I'm saying if any story comes out like that, or it feels enough like it that would happen. Then you're there. Yeah. It's just going to slingshot back just as hard the other way.
Well, and I think the reality for everybody who lives here is that they know nothing's going to actually be done. We knew about these problems for a long time. We've been talking about them for a long time. Nothing was done about them. Now, the DOJ came in and did a report. A lot of this stuff happened with the DOJ inspectors in the car, embedded in units. It didn't seem to affect what they did. And the commissioner comes out with the mayor and basically says, we are ready to change. We are ready to adopt policies that fall in line with the DOJ. And the FOP says, no.
Yeah.
We'll adopt your changes, but there is going to have to be changes on both sides. We'll do things, but we're also going to need to have concessions. This ain't a goddamn negotiation. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, technically it is, because you're dealing with a labor union. And just like, you know, if the NFL Players Association wanted to be able to smoke pot instead of taking powerful painkillers,
yeah,
the owners are going to want something for that,
right?
Even if at the base the owners don't care, like, you know, like, oh yeah, sure, I'd love to get my players not on these painkillers that cause psychological issues or long-term health effects.
I'd like them not to be suspended if they caught with a little pot in their system 30 days later, too.
Yeah, like, even if it's something they want, they're still going to go, oh, no, that's going to cost you.
All right, so here's my concession.
Maybe that's why. Maybe we'll get 2 extra regular season games out of this, and, you know.
I'm fine with that, too.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, but you're getting paid the same amount as you did for 16 as you were for 18.
I'm fine with that, too. Screw them. But, in the end, though...
But I'm saying the Players Association will come back and say, you know, that's not right.
But the difference is, when you are dealing with the Players Association, they are a level of elite players.
Mm-hmm.
If the cops want to lock out, see you later. Go ahead, lock out. Because we can find replacements.
Scabs?
Absolutely, 100%. You think that you couldn't... I know personally 10 people who want to be cops, but who are so bad that they can't pass the exam.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to it, you need people on the street, you want people doing the job, you kind of take all comers.
See, that would make me nervous, though, because then we're going to have...
it's going to be worse. But do you know who I am? I mean, because the point is this, is if it gets worse...
While you go on about this, I'm just going to grab the movement insurrection and just start thumbing through pages.
Yes. But, I mean, if it gets worse, then the police have an option. Either come back and do your jobs, or we will find permanent replacements. Like, because obviously when the NFL referees were out, all we were saying is, like, for God's sakes, can we get our referees back, please?
Yeah.
This is horrible. Like, we will take you back. But, you know, it gets them kind of where you need to be, but at the same time, we're not going to allow them to just do whatever they want. There has to be strict rules, and if you don't want to follow them, that's fine. It puts pressure on both sides of both parties.
Yeah.
But the police union is unnecessary.
Anytime you deal with negotiations of any kind, you have to make a concession here or a concession there on both sides.
I think that there have been far too many concessions.
there's no way you get a sweeping police change that's going to make everybody happy.
How about this? Will you change our policies and we won't take away your officer's special bill of rights? Because if I had my druthers, that goes goodbye as well. So we're going to reform everything. And the problem is this. The problem is exactly what you're saying, that we can't just reform everything. We can't do the logical thing, which is to have reform. We have to negotiate.
People are going to make arguments over what's logical and what's not.
I think that
like you might say that if an officer discharges his weapon on in duty,
yeah,
then there should be an immediate investigation that is done by the state's attorney's office to find out whether or not there's any criminal charges associated
independent
with it.
investigator.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, but no matter what, you know, if the guy's like running at him with a knife, going like, "I'm going to kill you, fucking cop," and you shoot him because you know you fear for your life, regardless of what it looks like on spec, there's going to be an immediate investigation, by an independent party that could lead to charges. There's going to be people who say, like, well, we don't need it for everything. I mean, clearly in that situation that was just laid out.
Why?
Like, you wouldn't need the investigation.
Well, because if we had training on mental health and how to deal with people who have mental health issues, maybe that could have been avoided. I think that every shooting needs to be investigated like that. Every time a weapon is discharged, you need to have that investigation.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying that there
are people who are going to say
there's going to be not every single issue is going to be a landslide winner.
Right.
I mean, you would think that, you know, some of these things are... I don't understand why anybody would be against a civilian review board.
Right.
Like, it just makes perfect sense to me. But there are going to be people who say that doesn't make sense. The question is, at what percentage do you have the sides? Is it 30-70? Is it 40-50? Because, or 40-60? Because, I mean, like, if it's a 30-70 issue, you know, pound sand. If it's a 40-60 issue...
we're getting closer.
We're going to have to make some sort of, like, you know, like,
So,
we're going to have to... Nobody's going to get exactly what they want out of the deal, because there's going to have to be a little concession on each side to make it palatable.
Right.
And meet in the middle.
So here's what I propose. I'm going to treat it similarly to a custody case. In a custody case, you have two parents, you have two attorneys on either side. We're both arguing, and it's basically one big negotiation. Oftentimes, well, sometimes, we bring in a best interest attorney for the minor child.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a catch-22. Because once the BIA enters and has a recommendation, the judge will follow that 99% of the time.
Right.
So you can assume that whatever the BIA comes up with, that's going to be the decision. And then so you're negotiating little things at the fringes of the main decision.
Right.
The DOJ has established this is what needs to change. They are independent. They are not from the city. They have no dog in this fight. That should be it. Those changes happen, no negotiation. And what they can talk about is little things on the outside. Like, officers shouldn't have to pay for the body cameras. They shouldn't have to pay for the training, or the training for the body cameras should be paid. Because my understanding is that not Baltimore, but other cities are like, yeah, we're going to train you how to use this camera that you have to use, but you have to come in on a Saturday or your day off. And you're not getting paid for the training for the camera they're going to make you wear.
Right.
Or they're saying that if your camera fails, it's your responsibility. Well, I don't want your cheap camera then. I'm going to go buy my own camera that I can be sure is going to work. Or one that it doesn't have like the pressing thing. It has like a little click that I can turn it on and off. So the concessions we make on the fringes, but the DOJ report should give us the cut and dry. This is what changes. It's independent evaluation. Let's do it. But it won't. Nothing is going to change. Nothing.
Well, something's going to change, but I'm saying what you're going to see is, much like you see in every walk of life, is small little incremental changes so that by the time we're 80, we're where we should have been 2 years from now.
And I think that in many issues that works, but not this one. Because the city will burn.
Because, I mean, just look at civil rights just in general. Like, you know, Dr. King didn't say, I have a dream, and then all of a sudden the next day we woke up to, you know, perfect racial equality. Right. It's been a long, slow trudge towards that. And there's been many fights along the way. And you're not going to have, like, a overwhelming concession one way or the other.
I mean, we could.
We could, but it's not it's not realistic.
With this issue, we are at the point that something needs to change, or there will be blood. If there is no change, there will be blood. If you want to take 80 years to get it done, the city won't make it 80 years. The city will burn before the 80 years is up. Because we're on a razor's edge, and the DOJ has pointed out everything. People are like, we know this. It's now public knowledge. So we either need to make change or nothing. And if it turns out to be like, listen, we're going to incrementally do this over the next 60 years, people are going to lose it. It's going to lead to violence. It's not going to lead to actual reform.
Well, you know what's something everyone should agree on?
What's that?
OhTheAnthem.com, Cory at OhTheAnthem.com, OhTheAnthem on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the listener line, 443-219-7595.
What's the number again?
443-219-7595.
And you can find me on all your social networks at Robert N. Cheek. Make sure you check out robertncheek.com for links to my political blog, the news website, and the books, which are available on Amazon.
Buy Rob's books.
Yeah. So I think that's everything for this week.
Well, I think we've done good here today.
We did something. I don't know if it's good. But as always, you're listening to the Oh the Anthem podcast. Ooh, part of the Oh the Anthem digital network. For Cory, this is Rob. Have a great week, everybody.
And please take down my damn statues. My hair is brown, not blonde. And wait a minute.
That's not the point you should be making.
Oh, shit. Why are we still recording?